Hey guys, welcome to I think it's week 4 of your RaFFLe fantasy football season. Coming to you live from what I like to call the killing floor, or the shit grounds, backyard basically, where the dogs have dropped numerous turds. I'll be watching my step as I walk around and share with you some of the insights into what is week 4. Of course, the huge news, I mean literally huge news, is the fact that we've finished up with our replacement referees. We've moved on. We've brought in the big boys. Excuse me. Oh, that was a pile of shit. No, not really. We moved on. We brought in the regular guys. And the whole time that whole fiasco was going on, I kept thinking to myself, why is it that you're trying to replace these guys with these other guys? Why not instead take this opportunity to say, you know what, let's go ahead and introduce some technology into the game. It has progressed over the last 40 years or so. Why not, instead of 2 sticks and a 10-yard rope of chain and a bunch of old guys trying to run after a bunch of young athletes, why not instead, start switching over to, we got the eyes in the sky. We got 10,000 cameras at every single game. You can have a room up in this box where they're watching these cameras, they're making the calls. You still got to have some guys on the field, right, to set the ball, to stop fights and all that stuff, but you could certainly cut down on the number of people that you've got on the field. And now you've got a bunch of people that are trained and know what the rules are, and they're not having to think, I got to keep out of this guy's way, I got to be here, I got to do that, and instead are focused on the play. It just seems, especially at the NFL level, definitely, maybe not at the college or certainly not the high school level, but it just seems like if you would have taken advantage of the situation, if you didn't do it, those guys would have been begging for their jobs back as soon as we started to use that technology, and there would have been, it would have been over a lot sooner, and Green Bay maybe would not have lost that game. But what are you going to do, right? I mean, that's the way it is. And that's Chris Reddaway's thoughts. Tune in every week around this time for Chris Reddaway's thought, brought to you by RaFFLe, the best a man can get. The only other thing I thought I would bring up this week before I step in a pile of the only other thing I thought I'd bring up this week was the fact that just a reminder on your drop ad transactions that you need to enter a transaction for every potential transaction you want. For example, if I know that I want to get rid of a player, let's say I got Larry Zonka, I know I want to get rid of him, and there's 3 options that I could put, that I would want to, this is the guy I want first, this is the guy I want second, this is the guy I want third, then I'm going to enter 3 transactions. I'm going to say, I want Steve Smith, drop Larry Zonka, I want Rob Greasy, drop Larry Zonka, etc., right? And if again, there are potentially 3 players I want, and these are the 5 players I might drop, you're going to have to just put them in order that you want to do it. The problem is, in the past, there are some people that haven't done that way, right? They've said, in the comments, they said, hey, if this is, you drop this, change that. But with the changes to the site, it is a pain in the ass, because now we have to go in and enter manual transactions, and whereas before everything was kind of laid out for you and kind of sitting there, you could easily go in and make a change. Now it's not that same way. So please take a couple of minutes, enter whatever scenarios you want. If you got questions on it, give me a shout. I'm happy to talk you through it. But and it's not a huge problem. It's just something that's come up, and I thought I'd mention it. Also, the only other thing, a couple of questions have come out. Just a reminder, again, your starting lineup does consist of the following: 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 1 kicker, 1 defense. At a minimum, those numbers. The only other unique minimum is the wide receiver slot. You got to have 2 of those guys. So remember to put in the 2 wide receivers, and then you can futz with it from there. You go to 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, etc. The only thing you can't do is 2 quarterbacks, 2 kickers, 2 defense. It's really not that hard. It's really actually quite simple. So I think that was all I needed to cover with you guys. I mean, it's been kind of quiet. Stupid work, and shit like that. But other than that, we're just rocking and rolling. Got fucked last week by my son, not literally, but figuratively, in the fantasy football. I think that's it. Guys, you have anything you want to say? No? Okay, well, they're good. Hey, you guys have a great day. Oh, by the way, how about that hurricane win yesterday? That was something, huh? We'll talk to you later.